Yeah, Monday upper body dominant. We're going to start with foam rolling. So we're going to foam roll our lats and our T-spine. Good job, Isla. We got to look for it. So we're going to get the whole lat. We're going to start right underneath the shoulder blade on the ground. You got to look though, dude. All right, so I'm going to put the roller on the ground. I'm going to line up so that I'm just laying down right underneath my shoulder blade. Arm is extended. And then I'm just going to rock back and forth and take some big deep breaths. After I do that for a few seconds, I'm going to roll up. You got to look. Can you stop yelling, please? Thank you. And then right underneath, so after you finish underneath the shoulder blade, you're going to go right in the back of the armpit. Yeah? It's cold? Then go get a sweatshirt. So after they hold this position for about 30 seconds to a minute per side, they're going to find the tight spots. But what I really want to do is really focus on this area, so the one right behind where the armpit is, because as we do some of the pull-up eccentrics this week, that's where some of the members told me they were super sore. So we want to take a little bit more time just in that area, not underneath the shoulder blade, right? But right there, right behind the armpit, okay? So then, after that, the T-spine rocking, start at the base of the shoulder blades, right? Here, support the head. Do a full crunch, everything crunched together, and then inhale, reverse it. So full extension of lumbar spine, T-spine, and cervical, right? Trying to open up and even look back behind us. Exhale, close. I'm looking for about 10 to 12 of those crunches, progressively going up higher in the back, right? The more dialed they get the breathing, the more range of motion they'll get, right? Then after that, we have jobs. So jobs are basic rotator cuff exercises. The way I remember them is 3, 2, 1. So 3 standing, 2 bent over, and 1 on the ground, okay? So the 3 standing, the first one that we're gonna do is just standard shoulder flexion. So I can go thumbs up or thumbs pointed at each other right here. So we're looking 12 to 16 reps, real slow and controlled. I put body weight on there. That's really, really light. So after we do through one segment of this, basically do one segment body weight, show them how to do this, and then say 2 to 5 pound baby weights, right? So 12 to 16, breathing doesn't matter as long as they're breathing. It's not heavy enough that you really have to brace. Then pockets, right? And then up. Okay, so this is scaption. This is the scapular plane. Shoulders are still down, neck is still long. Yeah. And then we have abduction out to the side. Again, trying to make sure that they're not shrugging. So if they get that short neck position, that's not what we want. I even kind of encourage them to feel like they're getting their arms pulled apart, right? So we just stay kind of in the deltoid. The heavier we go with this, right, then that makes it a deltoid exercise. The lighter and more reps we do, the more it makes it a rotator cuff exercise, right? Then I'm going to hinge down, right? So I'm looking to be parallel with the floor. Here, thumbs pointed, right? Thumbs pointed out. Here. So I did my 3 standing. This is my 2 bent over. Is that LOL down? Right? So this is horizontal abduction, right? Then we're going to have extension. Whoa. You're sad. Again, 12 to 16 reps, and then we're going to have external rotation laying on the ground, right? So external rotation, pin the arm to the side. They're just going to relax and hang out on their side and then open up, right? If they're getting all the way out here, it's because their elbow is off of their side and they're cheating, right? They're using rear delt. That's cool. But what we're really trying to do is we're really trying to work one of the rotator cuff muscles in a really weak position, okay? So keeping this here, right? External rotation. Like I said, don't let them turn it into a deltoid exercise. All right, so those are the warm-ups, right? Just to kind of get the rotator cuff warm. They'll feel it, and if they're not feeling it or if they're shrugging too much, those are the 2 things that we want to look for. So if they're not feeling it, give them a little bit heavier of a weight. If they're shrugging too much, take the weight away from them and make them work on proper form and get their shoulders down. All right, after that, we have plyo push-ups and then our pull-up holds. So this is for the CrossFitters. The plyo push-ups can come in a variety of variations, right? But that's what we're looking for. So the easiest plyo push-up variation that I've done is from the knees, but then I'm going to still keep my entire body flat, right? So what that looks like is I'm gonna go down, right? Heels are gonna come towards my butt, and then that way I don't do this. I commit my hips forward and I try to pull my rib cage down. Inhale down and push away. Push away. Right, so they're just getting some movement up and off the ground, right? They don't need to clap, right? And in fact, if they do something like that, the tendency is to hurt the wrists. So I'm trying to get them to get used to an explosive push off of the ground. They can do that in a standard push-up position, right? They're just getting some distance, right? If they want to get fancy with it, I would prefer, rather than clapping, that they just push all 4 limbs off the floor at once. So I'm not going to demo that. I'm too old and tired, right? But if you have somebody who's a real fire breather, just tell them to push up so hard that their feet can come off, and I'll link to somebody doing that, right? So that, and then your pull-up eccentrics. Can I have this? So, right, pull-up bar, pulling up, clearing the chin. I don't care how the hands are, right? They can do whatever they want. But then what I want them to do is, after they hold this position, when they feel like they're going to start to fatigue, get them to take a big deep breath in and go and lower control. What I really don't want to see, and this is the thing that hurts people on the eccentric portion, is when they go, right? So the lat is protecting their shoulder from dislocating, or usually what's happening is it's subluxing. It's dislocating and then going back in because the lat's helping it do that. That's one of the problems with jumping pull-ups. That's one of the problems with kipping pull-ups. And that's one of the reasons that it hurts people, is because we get their lats so freaking tired and they can't keep the shoulder together that we're gonna sublux or minorly dislocate when we do that. So that's an easy way to start slap tears. That's an easy way to start getting people frozen shoulders. So don't let them do that. You got an owie? Do I have to kiss your foot? Sorry, foot kiss break. Right, so both the GetStrongers and the CrossFitters have those. So a couple of different ways of making sure that they don't get hurt with that is you can give them a box underneath to catch onto when they're going to start to hit that position, and then they just slowly lower themselves down. That's fine. Or you can give them an elastic band down to just take some of the body weight away, so that they have that kind of safety mechanism in the bottom. It just, this is fine, this is not. All right, so if they snap it here, that's what we're doing. So don't let them do that one, okay? So push-up chest tap is the other one that GetStrong is doing. You can still do it in that kneeling position. So if they still don't have their push-ups set, right? The reason why, again, because I don't want to see people's push-ups look like this, right? They have to get, it's an anterior core exercise. It's basically a moving plank. So I want hips down. I want body neutral. LOL dolls. Isla, no thank you. Isla joy. Isla joy. Isla joy, no thank you. You silly Billy. Being a rascal, daddy's working. Okay? So they're going to do their push-up, right? Neutral body position. Chest tap. Chest tap. Or chest tap. Chest tap, right? It doesn't need to be held for like 5 seconds, but like a good 1 to 3 second lockout is what we're looking for. Again, feel free to play around with it. If it's too difficult, you can change the set rep scheme too, right? Worst case scenario, they just do protraction, retractions. Conditioning, scoop toss, rainbow slams, and running, right? If you want to throw the ball into the wall, it's still this position. So scoop toss is the rugby throw. No, yours is the one with the ladybug on it over there. Right? Here. Right? So I'm throwing into the wall. It's going to bounce off the wall, come back. Boom. If they don't want to throw it or you don't want to throw it, have them just do reverses. Right? So my hips are moving. Right? Internal rotation, pushing off the toe. Right? Sternum's still moving. So I have rotation coming from the ground and continuing through my shoulders. Right? That's what I want. Rainbow slam, same deal. Over. Slam it. Remember, bouncy balls bounce, dead balls don't. I prefer the dead balls on these, so not the big Dynamax ones. But that being said, if they have a lot of low back mobility, right, if they deadlift like this, or they have low back problems, give them the one that bounces. Because if they have to come down for it and go into this position, it's usually too much pressure on the QL, and it's going to cause some problems. Take it from me, one of my clients just got that one from this exercise, right? So if they have a little too much mobility and they get a little too tired, they get a little too moto, they might hurt themselves with this one, so pay attention to shorten the range of motion if you have to, or regress it completely and turn it into this, all right? That's still fine. You don't have to throw it into the ground. You can stop it, all right? After that, run, make them go run. Make them do some sort of cardio, right? Then bird dog, reverse sit up. Okay, bird dog, we know how to do this. Well, let's add some tips, right? So the focus is still, I don't know where you are, Isla. The focus is still rib cage down. Here, inhale. Exhale. Notice my lower back doesn't do this, right? I don't, no. Here, inhale, exhale. Goal is to keep the ribs down the whole time, right? That's per side. Reverse sit up, have them grab a weight, have them grab a section of the rig, get out of here, right? And they're gonna hold, pull their lower back off the ground, down. Lower back off the ground, down. Right? That, they got 2 stretches. They're gonna have the scorpion stretch. So I'm down in a T position on the ground, arms out wide, foot to hand, foot to hand. Good kick, girl. Foot to hand, foot to hand. And then last stretch is child's pose, hand over hand last stretch. So get into child's pose, right? Okay, angle it a little different. So child's pose, arms extended, ribs connected. Take the hand, hand over hand. "30 seconds to a minute on those, all right? Then call it a good Monday.